What's happening, beautiful people? Welcome back to another live stream right here on Cassius Morris Official. It's 1 a.m. in Malaysia, and I'm back here to entertain you guys, man, because guess what? Hang on a second. Who the fuck is that talking? Who the fuck? I got a clip going in the background, guys. Sorry, you guys couldn't hear it, but I could hear it. So yeah, we're back at 1 a.m. to entertain you guys because listen, I want to be number one. When you want to be number one, you work when it's late, you work when you're sick, you work when you're tired, you work all the time. If you are not working every single day towards your goal, I don't want to hear you talk about wanting to be number one. So we're here to entertain you guys. Real quick, if you've been liking the streams, make sure to hit that join button down below to become a channel member. This channel is completely funded off donations when it comes to live streams, so every membership helps. And of course, please send your super chats in to show some love. I really appreciate each and every one of you guys for doing so. So today's top story, we're going to take a look at Bruce Springsteen going on an onstage rant against ICE and Donald Trump. We're going to look at the context of this rant, what the reaction was from the crowd and across social media, and also take a look at the history between Bruce Springsteen and Donald Trump, as this is not their first time tangling in a political dispute. We also have a bunch of different clips to play, including a follow-up from last night's stream where we looked at the Sneeko and Nick Fuentes collab. There's another bombshell clip that just came from that. We have Ellen DeGeneres, we have Bill Maher, so we have an absolutely stacked stream for you guys tonight. But let's kick things off with this first clip. So this was Bruce Springsteen and the E Street Band performing at a surprise show in New Jersey. Here's what Bruce had to say about the president and ICE currently occupying Minnesota.
If you believe in the power of the law and that no one stands above it, if you stand against heavily armed, masked federal troops invading an American city and using Gestapo tactics against our fellow citizens, if you believe you don't deserve to be murdered for exercising your American right to protest, and send a message to this president, and as the mayor of that city has said, ICE should get the fuck out of Minneapolis. But this song is for you, in the memory of mother of three and American citizen Renee Good. Thank you.
Bruce Springsteen speaking last night on stage in New Jersey. Now, while some fans were surprised by his rant, other fans actually came to expect it because, like I mentioned, this was not Bruce Springsteen's first time going at Trump. Here's a clip from earlier in 2025 where Bruce Springsteen went off on Trump again, calling him incompetent and treasonous. Let's take a listen.
In my home, the America I love, the America I've written about, that has been a beacon of hope and liberty for 250 years, is currently in the hands of a corrupt, incompetent, and treasonous administration. In America, they are persecuting people for using their right to free speech and voicing their dissent.
What's up, Lois?
This is happening now. In America, the richest men are taking satisfaction in abandoning the world's poorest children to sickness and death.
Yeah, we should listen to poor people like Bruce Springsteen. I'm sorry. I mean, listen, the message is nice, but the one thing about Bruce is he always tries to play this everyman act. Bro's richer than most of the people he's talking about.
This is happening now. In my country, they're taking sadistic pleasure in the pain that they inflict on loyal American workers. They're rolling back historic civil rights legislation that led to a more just and plural society. They're abandoning our great allies and siding with dictators against those struggling for their freedom. A majority of our elected representatives have failed to protect the American people from the abuses of an unfit president and a rogue government. They have no concern or idea of what it means to be deeply American. The America that I've sung to you about for 50 years is real. And regardless of its faults, is a great country with a great people. So we'll survive this moment.
Bruce Springsteen in May of 2025 speaking on Trump. So look, Bruce has made his opinion very clear. There is nothing about the Trump administration that he likes. He thinks he's a terrible president, and he's basically called him every name under the sun that could be derogatory. Now, Donald Trump did actually respond to Bruce's initial comments, calling him a dried out prune of a rocker, saying he was not very talented and completely washed. Highly overrated and not a talented guy, just a pushy and obnoxious jerk is the official statement from Donald Trump, which, I mean, calling Bruce Springsteen not talented, that's a pretty ridiculous stretch. So look, these clips honestly speak for themselves. Here's what I'll say about this whole Bruce Springsteen going on rants about politics during his concert. First of all, if I paid for this show to go and see this, I would legitimately be pissed. Listen, for me, the idea of going to a concert, of going to a sporting event, of going to anything that I'm paying my hard-earned dollar for to go and be entertained, the idea behind that is that I get an hour and a half away from my problems. I'm not paying to go to a rock concert to talk about politics. I don't want to think about politics. That's the last thing I want to do when I'm at a rock show. Because think about the mind state you're at when you're in a rock show. You go, it's nighttime, maybe you had a beer, maybe you smoked a little something in the parking lot, whatever. I'm there to relax. I'm there to enjoy myself. I'm there to sing along. And having gone to hundreds of concerts, there's nothing I hate more than when I'm sitting in the crowd, vibing, having a good time, and the singer decides it's time to make a campaign speech. I don't like it. I don't want to hear it. I don't want to think about it. And most of the audience doesn't like it either. Look, I've been to shows where they've done it. I've seen Roger Waters where he did the whole Trump thing. I mean, that was basically a whole Trump, resistant show. So you kind of had to know what you were getting into going to that. But some people in the crowd didn't. And you could feel the division when Roger Waters is flying the pig through the arena with Trump's face. You could feel the division, and there were actually people that walked out of the show. There were legitimately people who walked out, who were fighting in the crowd, getting into screaming matches. And look, I think there's a time and a place, but a rock concert, for me as a viewer, is not it. Now, the other side of the coin, and we've talked about this on previous streams, is that we are not in the era that we used to be in when it comes to politics. Things used to be a lot more civil, even 5-10 years ago in America. I remember a time when you had Republicans, you had Democrats, and they could all sit together and talk. You know, I remember even in my family, there was a joke that, oh, such and such is a liberal. Ooh, stay away from him. He's a liberal. Such and such is a conservative. Ooh. It was almost like saying somebody had cooties. Like, oh, stay away from me. Now it's not fun and not games. It's completely serious. And the division is palpable. The division is what's driving us all apart further and further. But it's because we're not in the era where things are civil anymore. We're not in the era where things are measured. We are in an era of extremes. So when the world around you is getting extreme and you're a proud American citizen and you have a platform, I'm not going to be able to sit here and say that you shouldn't speak on it. I can tell you I don't want to hear it. But again, part of what makes America a great country is the fact that you can go up there and speak your piece. So I think Bruce is well within his rights. Listen, I don't begrudge Bruce. I really don't. Bruce and his whole band have been very political all along. Look at Little Steven. Look at all the guys in the band. I mean, this is a group who's never shied away from making these types of statements. But I always cringe so hard when this happens at a concert that I'm in. I remember the one show, I think the first one where they did it when I was there was Kiss. And Paul Stanley, he tried to do it. He was on stage. He's like, listen, people. He did it in his performance voice. So you can't even take it seriously. Like, at least Bruce is doing a regular voice, not a shtick. But Paul Stanley, when he's up there, is like, listen, people over there, let me hear you. And he starts trying to go like, listen, there's people who are in the office trying to make wars and this and that. And literally the dude next to me, the people around me are booing. Some guy standing next to me smoking a joint goes, play a fucking song. So look, I feel like there needs to be a place. People talk about a safe space, right? People talk about that. Let's make a safe space where I can get away from politics for a night. Because what's going to happen if we can't get away from this for even one night, if we can't go to a sporting event or a music show or a nightclub without having a political debate, what's going to happen is the division is going to eat away at the very fabric of society to a level that we could have never pictured before. It's already getting there, but if we keep this up, it's going to keep going. And this is prevalent in most of the stories that we're going to cover tonight. It follows us everywhere. So what do you guys think in the chat? Do you think Bruce was within the realm of what's right when he's saying this on stage? Or do you think the fans should just get one night to go and listen to some music, to go and forget about it? You know, it's like, I don't want that in that scenario. I'm seeing in the chat here, Bruce has more time in the tour bus than you do on this earth. I don't even know what that means, dude, but God bless you. Rob says, I met Bruce on his last tour and he was incredibly kind, put me on the guest list with 1,500 pit passes. 1,500 pit passes? What does that mean? Got tons of photos, 2 with him, plus we were also on the news. I don't dig politics dividing us. Shout out to Rob in the chat. No, I think Bruce is great. Look, I think he's an incredibly impressive artist. I don't really know Bruce's music too deeply. He's actually one of the rock bands that I haven't really delved into. I think it's because I'm Canadian, to be completely honest with you. I think he's maybe a little too American for my sensibilities, and not because I don't like it, but it's not ingrained in us. Like, I feel like when you're American and you listen to rock and roll, Bruce Springsteen is like a prerequisite. You're going to listen to Springsteen, especially if you're from Jersey or one of those places. In Canada, it's a little bit different. We're not really tuned in like that. For me, it was Kiss, it was Maiden, it was AC/DC. So I respect Bruce Springsteen, but I can't really speak too much on his music. I do love the song Streets of Philadelphia, though. I had one night in Vancouver, actually. It was super cool. I went out and did street photography at night, and the streets were completely empty at night. This is before Vancouver completely went to shit, so you could actually walk around without getting stabbed in the neck with a needle full of fentanyl by a crack addict. But I remember I was out that night, and I had my headphones in with Streets of Philadelphia on repeat, and it was the empty streets at night. I was doing my photography, and I just remember that beat. Boom, 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 and I'm looking around, and it was just the perfect night. So shout out to Bruce Springsteen. I love him. And look, if you're 60 years old doing a 3-hour concert, I respect the hell out of you. So shout out to Bruce Springsteen. So let's hop into another story here, guys. We have a couple stories. It's funny how a lot of this is relevant to what we're talking about now. Let's go to... Which one should we go to? Let's go to this one. So let's go to Bill Maher. Bill Maher wants to speak about the Golden Globes snubbing Joe Rogan from the best podcast category. Let's take a look at what Bruce... I'm thinking about Bruce Springsteen still. Let's see what Bill has to say on this issue.
It was glaring that Joe Rogan was not nominated.
For best podcast?
Yeah. I mean, it is kind of popular, and, you know...
it is known.
It is known.
He's absolutely brilliant at what he does.
And he's very good at what... Exactly. So you're going to have an inaugural podcast category.
And you don't have...
It just speaks to living in the blue sky bubble.
Yeah.
But get out of your fucking bubble, you know? I want to be one of you. I am one of you. But you're just so hard to defend because you're just such fucking smug assholes. Just
Bill Maher calling somebody a smug asshole is genuine comedy. Bill, you're the leader of the smug asshole committee.
Fucking smug assholes. And this town is...
Bill, you're the smug asshole. What are you talking about?
It was glaring that Joe Rogan was not...
So wait a second. Who won the best podcast at the Golden Globes then instead of Rogan? I won't be able to make a proper comment unless I figure out who it was. Let's ask our favorite app, ChatGPT. ChatGPT, Who won the Best Podcast Award at the Golden Globes this year? They're going to say it hasn't happened yet. Watch.
At the 83rd Golden Globe Awards on January 11th, 2026, Amy Poehler took home the first ever Best Podcast Award for her show Good Hang with Amy Poehler.
What?
Other nominees included popular podcasts like Armchair Expert with Dax Shepard, Call Her Daddy, The Mel Robbins Podcast, Smartless, and NPR's Up First. In her acceptance speech, Poehler highlighted the podcast goal of spreading...
How are you going to be nominated for Best Podcast if I've never heard of you? Dude, the only podcast in that category I've heard of is Call Her Daddy. And I don't listen to that, but I got to respect her because every girl I've ever dated listens to Alex Cooper. I have never spoken to a female in this era who doesn't listen to Call Her Daddy. So while that's not in my wheelhouse, I could see if she would have won. And it's kind of like what Eminem said about the awards. So, you know, I think Bill has a pretty good point here. What they'll do is they'll constantly give these awards out to people that they're wanting to push, either a new person or a person whose career they kind of want to regenerate. And the way I view award shows is it's not an award that is rewarding the talent of the artist or actually awarding who is best in the category. What the award shows are is they're actually just awarding whoever is best for the industry. So some people want to see it as like a talent award or a recognition of how good you are in the space. Ultimately, it's a recognition of how much money you are making Hollywood and big business. And Eminem made that point. He said they always have us all nominated. To get us there, they'll nominate in a rap category, let's say. They'll nominate Lil Wayne, Eminem, and Kanye, but then they'll give the rap award to some guy we've never heard of, and they basically just nominate all these other people to get them there in the seats so people watch the show. So I think Bill Maher's first thing is actually, you know, that he's getting wrong is taking award shows seriously. They're so not serious. But yeah, I think Amy Poehler, that's a crock of shit. If we're talking best podcast right now, we got to be taking a look at Rogan. I think Tim Dillon is up there. I think she's losing me right now, but I'll push Candace in there too. We'll push Candace Owens in there because she's doing numbers. So I'm with Bill Maher. I think this is kind of a crock. I'm not going to lie. What do you guys think? Should Rogan have won the #1 podcast award or no? We'll leave that up to you guys. Let's look at this one. So A$AP Rocky was approached by a creator to try and do an interview in the club, and apparently he was not in the mood and shut it down. I wanted to watch this one because as an interviewer who's approached many celebrities, lots of them say no, lots of them say yes. I want to break down this guy's approach and rate Rocky's reaction because there's a way to go about it where you don't crush the dude's soul. You don't crush the interviewer's soul. I'm hoping Rocky took the high road and did it that way.
What's good, fam? How are you, bro? Yo, what went into the creative process for your new album, and how'd you know it was done?
I'm not doing no motherfucking interview right now. Nice to meet you, though, young lad.
Oh, yeah, it has to be on. Okay.
A couple hours ago.
Oh, damn. Is it possible we can do something in the future? I have some really good questions I want to ask you about the album.
Absolutely.
Can I send you a DM,
Nice.
maybe?
Yeah, for sure. What's
All right.
your name?
D-Switch on everything.
All right, got
Yeah, yes, bro, slide.
Well, he's definitely not going to DM him at all or remember that. But class act there from A$AP Rocky. I think this is really cool. And look, I don't think people realize how challenging it is to actually go out and chase the interview from some of these celebrities. It's really hard to even get yourself in that situation. And I think the celebrities who can put themselves in the shoes of those guys are the ones who really do it justice. You know, we were actually, I just put up this video for my new followers earlier today on Instagram. We'll take a look at this real quick as it was one of mine. This was me when I actually tried to interview Joe Rogan, and I was completely snubbed by Rogan. He did not give a fuck, and he was brutal. I'll tell you guys exactly what happened, but let's take a look at the clip here first. This one here. Chasing the Joe Rogan interview.
Quick word, Mr. Rogan. Mr. Rogan, doesn't feel like talking right now.
I remember that part. And I was rooting for you so hard. I was like, yo, get it.
Man. I don't feel like I'm owed an interview by Joe Rogan. So for me, like, I didn't take it hard when I didn't get it.
That's what I loved about it, though. You went out and just tried to get it. You know what I mean?
Applying pressure made diamonds, right?
Man, you got to get it and then show the preview clips of you trying to get it. Because
exactly.
that's...
bring it back.
Chasing the Joe. So this clip, this was my kind of moment, just like this ASAP Rocky guy had, where I was trying to interview Rogan. And I'll tell you guys exactly what happened. So we had started an online campaign to try to get Rogan to do the interview. And we had hundreds of people tweeting him, Facebook messaging him, DMing him on Instagram. People he followed were doing it, tagging him in it. I know he saw it, guys. I know he saw it. There was a pretty big campaign saying, do an interview with Cassius when you go to Edmonton. He refused. His publicist emailed me. He's not going to do it. I said, you got to reconsider. She said no again. I said, fuck you. We're going to get the interview. I showed up at the UFC weigh-ins. We go to get the interview. But when I approached the vehicle, now here's a little bit of context as to why I did it, because people might say, why are you approaching his vehicle? There was a big crowd of fans outside of the UFC waiting for everybody to come out. So the first people who started coming out were the fighters. So I met a couple of fighters. I did some interviews with the fighters. I got some really cool content meeting those guys, and they were super, super kind. Wonder Boy actually invited me to go for beers at Boston Pizza. He's like, yeah, we're going to Boston Pizza. Come drink with us. So I was like, okay, people are hanging out here. The guys are coming out and rolling down their windows. Let me wait for Rogan to come out. Maybe he'll talk to us too. So Rogan comes out, and I can see him through the tinted window, and there's a car in front of him waiting to turn. So Rogan's car is just sitting there. I can see Rogan sitting there. So I approach the window. I see Rogan, and what happens at first is Rogan sees me. He's looking forward. I'm on his right. Rogan sees me out of his peripheral, and he's sitting in the back seat next to somebody. And I'm like, Rogan with the mic, right? And I see him looking forward, but he's talking to the guy to his left, and he's going like this. He's like getting angry, like, fuck this fucking guy or something. He's saying something because we had been tweeting him. We've been calling him, all this shit. I see him getting pissed. And I'm looking at him like, why are you getting pissed? I'm trying to get the interview. So Rogan then looks out the window at me, and I'll never forget this, guys. This was a really, really strange moment. He looked at the window, out the window at me with like rage in his eyes. And he went like this. I shit you not. That's what Joe Rogan did. It was like a overly exaggerated, patronizing, like, hi, I see you. You have my attention now. Are you happy? And when he did that, I was kind of like, okay, he's like taking this the wrong way. So I just walked away. Like, look, like I said, I'm not owed an interview from a soul. I'm not owed a thing from anybody. But I thought it would be fun. So that was the Rogan story. So all this to say, I know what it's like to do these approaches and get shut down. So shout out to the creators who are actually going for it, man. And yeah, like I'm seeing in the chat, ASAP was cool. ASAP was pretty cool. There was another one too. I think this streamer got in trouble because he told some girl to quit. This guy's so rude, bro. I think he told like a 13-year-old girl to quit when she tried to interview him. Hold on a second. I want to find this. This one here. Telling someone to quit is crazy.
And you see me doing my interviews. I'm 13. So what advice?
13?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
13? Yeah. Oh my God, thank God you told me that. All right.
So what advice do you want to give me if you see me doing my interviews?
Advice for you?
Yeah.
Just quit. Honestly,
Oh.
And you
Bro, what the fuck is that? Oh, hang on a second. Community notes. This clip is cut out of context. Rakai told her it was a joke and immediately said he was joking. See, why are they doing him dirty like that then? Why are they going to do him dirty? Play the real clip.
13? Oh my God, thank God you told me that. All right.
So what advice do you want to give me if you see me doing my interviews?
Advice for you?
Yeah.
Just quit. Honestly, Nah, I'm playing. Nah, don't quit, but no, I'm playing. Keep doing your thing. This is fire. I see you do.
Oh, yeah, they did him dirty with the other clip.
The baby, little baby, all that. You're doing your thing. Like, God is blessing you. Keep going. You gotta keep going. You know what I'm saying? Miami's the right spot to be. You travel?
Oh, man, what I would do to have been born in America, bro. Because the only dudes I've been able to run up on and try to interview are in Canada. So what happens when these guys go to Canada is they don't fuck with nobody. When these guys go to Canada and they do a show, without fail, these guys will, and I've seen it because I've been backstage at the shows, they'll literally pull up in a vehicle. They get directly out of the vehicle. They don't even hang out backstage. They'll pull up, get out of the vehicle. I literally saw T.I. They passed him the microphone through the window of his van that he was sitting in. So he gets out of the van with the microphone, walks straight on the stage. The second the show is over, walks straight off the stage into the van, straight to the airport. And that's the drawback of being in a city that's not lit, being in a city that kind of sucks, is that people don't have the same reception to those cities. So if a guy is not excited about being in a certain place, he's not going to want to stick around. So that's why you see all these kids getting interviews in Miami, in LA, in New York. Artists like being in these places, so they're more comfortable. I've never actually got to work in a place where people are comfortable and they want to stick around. And that's why when I went to New York, everything changed for me. When I went to New York and I did my first content run, 2 weeks in New York was the equivalent of like 6 months in Canada. Because I got opportunities off of those 2 weeks that I could have never dreamed of. We saw you in New York. We saw what you're doing. We want you to come do this. We want you to come do that. So I'm not trying to go off on a tangent here, but yeah, dude, like I've told you guys, being Canadian has fucked my career. I've had to take the long way. It doesn't mean it isn't happening. It's happening. We've done some great stuff, but it takes a fucking long time when you're Canadian. It's insane. Let's take a look at some other stuff. Let me see. Let's go to Ellen DeGeneres. So Ellen DeGeneres made a new video clip where people are highly criticizing her. They're saying she looks homeless. And Ellen has this weird disposition lately whenever she comes back on camera since she fled from America. I think she fled to go to the UK. She always has this weird disposition like she's about to cry ever since she was exposed for being a raging bitch to her staff. I don't know what this sort of act is. I think it's sort of like a sympathy act, trying to make people feel bad for her. But let's take a look at this clip from Ellen, feeling like she needs to weigh in on what's happening in America, even though she fled.
Hey everybody, I just wanted to say I am so sorry for what is happening in Minneapolis and our country, really, but specifically...
Oh, well, that helps a lot. Phew, now I can relax. Ellen's sorry for what's happening.
Minneapolis right now, because it's where I shot my last stand-up special, and everybody there couldn't have been more lovely. I shot it there because...
The way celebrities make everything about them is so sickening. It's so sickening. I really want to apologize for what's happening in Minneapolis because I filmed my last stand-up special there. Bitch, is that relevant to the situation? This is the Make It About Me final boss.
I shot it there because they say it's the happiest city in America.
Who cares?
And I found that to be true. So my thoughts and my prayers are going out to everyone, and I'm proud of everyone who's protesting peacefully, and I am sorry for anyone who has been hurt just for protesting, for doing what you should be doing. Anyway, I just sending love.
What is this act? What is this disposition? What is this t-shirt? Why are you a millionaire and you dress like shit and you look like shit? Is this you trying to appeal to us? Ellen, is this you trying to say you're just like me? Are you just like us? What the fuck are you wearing and what are you doing? But I'll tell you, man, Ellen is a person who I've always had a bad feeling about. And I feel like when people are surprised that they find out Ellen is a raging bitch because she got exposed for abusing her staff, for anybody who missed that story, she really, really badly abusing her staff. And there was lots of rumors about that, by the way, circling in Hollywood. I was privy to this well before it. I'm going to lose my original train of thought, but this was something that I heard about. I did an interview actually with one of Ellen's writers. And the interview, I had a question in it where I asked him, because this dude wrote for Chelsea Handler and he wrote for Ellen. I asked him, who was harder to work with, Chelsea Handler or Ellen DeGeneres? You know what this dude told me? This was before it all came out. He got this pained expression on his face. And he looked like, oh, fuck, should I say it? And his only response to me was, Chelsea's a wonderful woman. So look, people knew exactly what was happening, but my initial point was going to be that anybody who's surprised about it really isn't paying attention, because the idea that Ellen was some nice woman, just look at her disposition on her shows. She was usually incredibly rude to her guests. She would cut them off. She'd put them on the spot, make people uncomfortable. So, like, if you think Ellen DeGeneres is a nice person, she's like you're going to fall for a lot of shit. It's like Santa Claus for adults. I remember people saying, I'm so disappointed. You couldn't tell this woman is a total bitch? SS says, birds of a feather, her and Diddy. Yeah, actually she is. Let's take a look. There's actually tons of clips of Diddy on Ellen, and this is what I mean when it's like, there's a lot of creepy shit that would happen. Look at this. See, these clips looking back now are insane. What's up, youth? Shout out to everybody in the chat, man. I see you guys.
How are you?
I'm doing great. How you doing?
I'm doing fantastic, thank you. Do you like being scared? I'm not going to scare you.
Yeah, don't do that.
No, I know.
Yes, how they feeling about certain situations. And you get the news quicker than the news gives it to you.
Yeah, no, it's great. So tell me about your birthday party. Am I invited?
Yes. Yes, you're definitely invited. I invite you to all my parties. You just haven't seemed to show up.
No, well, is it on the East Coast?
Yes.
Well, that's why. Why don't you have one here on the West Coast? Because I work all the time.
Okay, well, maybe I have one at your house.
Where's that?
Bro, no way. She's never beating the allegations.
Now, what time would your party start, let's say?
Like 9:30.
Really? That early?
Yeah.
I could make that.
Yeah.
But I think
Bro, how is that funny, by the way? These laugh track shows are crazy. How is that funny?
Really? That early?
Yeah.
I could make that.
Yeah.
Boy, that's a good one. She could make a party at 9 o'clock. That's a real knee slapper, that one.
9:30.
Really? That early?
Yeah.
I could make that.
Yeah.
But I could think of you of starting a party at like midnight. Like, what time will it go till?
That's a different type of party, though.
Uh-huh.
No, they go from like 9:30 to like maybe 3 o'clock, 3 o'clock. And then, you know, we have the top 2 floors of the hotel.
Mm-hmm. And then it will carry on there?
Yeah, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Then no, I mean the after party.
Mm-hmm. No, I know about them.
Whoa, look at her face, too. Oh, my God. See, this stuff legitimately makes my blood boil. This stuff makes my blood boil because not only are these people evil, not only are these people harming children behind the scenes and harming people in general, they felt so emboldened that they actually went on television and laughed about it. Not only were they committing the crimes brazenly out in the open, they actually thought they would get away with it to the extent that they would go on daytime television and crack jokes about sex trafficking and assault. You can't make this shit up. And I think a clip like this needs to live in a time capsule now that we're seeing the fall of the celebrity culture. Listen, what we're seeing in the last year or so, I would say ever since that Cat Williams interview, because the Cat Williams interview, we got to take it back to that, was prophetic. He told us, for everybody who's doing stuff behind the scenes, it's up. It's all coming to light. You can't hide it anymore, whether you like it or not. And I feel like ever since that kind of time, around that time, we've really been seeing the collapse and the death of celebrity culture as we know it. It still exists. There's still celebrities. There always will be. But the way that people interact with celebrities and the way that they view celebrities is forever changed, especially, I would say, since Epstein. You know, there's so much distrust. Diddy and Epstein, I think, were the final pieces in the house of cards to make it collapse. And now the president is being looked at in a different way for even being involved in this. So people don't trust Hollywood, people don't trust government, and people don't really admire these people anymore. And I feel like a video like this needs to be put in a time capsule to show how brazen these people actually got, because it's legitimately sickening to go on television and joke about this. SS says, code of secrecy. Not even ex-Mossad can help them anymore. Oh, boy. Whew. How canceled do I want to get tonight? Let me see. They already age restricted my last stream, guys. So I gotta start being a little bit more careful, because I've been doing a very uncensored show on a very censored platform. And I know that as this continues to grow, they're going to come for me. So I got to chill a little bit, but I hear you, bro. I hear you. I really do. Let's hop over to the next one. Let's go to the next one. So this one here. So we covered this yesterday, the whole situation with Sneeko, Andrew Tate, Clav, Nick Fuentes all going to the club in what was one of the most cringy streams I think we've ever seen in the modern streaming era. There have been some pretty cringy IRL streams, but I think this one was probably at the top. Now, I had a lot of incels in my chat yesterday, a lot of 14-year-old incels who follow these guys who were trying to make me look like the bad guy for saying this was cringe. But evidently I'm correct, because every news outlet, every account on X, every credible person in the media space has been voicing their dissent on this and just how cringeworthy it actually was, calling it potentially even the end of the red pill streaming culture. Now, things got even worse after this backlash came online, because now these guys, at least Sneeko and Clavicular, are actually going to be banned from all clubs in Miami by David Grutman. For people who don't know, David Grutman is the main guy in Miami. He owns all the big clubs. Club Live, I believe. I don't know the clubs in Miami, but he owns the big clubs. And David Grutman put up a message that said, look, you guys were in the club playing HH by Kanye, yes, the forbidden song, and putting it out on the internet. Like, these guys were wilded, and it was just insane. So these guys are now banned from every single club that's coming out of Miami. And things got even worse yesterday when they had to abruptly end the stream because they were in fear for their lives. So these guys have talked so much shit, said so many provocative comments, said so many racially charged things, that walking outside or going to a restaurant to eat is now becoming impossible for them. So let's go ahead and take a look at this clip, and let's see what it's like being a red pill streamer.
You can open carry.
Red pill streamers in Miami.
Chad, it's legal. You can open carry in Florida. I don't have to conceal it. I can just
so Sneeko's walking around, by the way, dressed like Scarface with a gun, which is literally unhinged, but I kind of like it, to be honest. I mean, look, if I was living in Miami, I'd probably be doing the same shit. And definitely I'd be carrying a strap if I was Sneeko. For sure.
Let the wind. Well, it's down here, right?
Yeah, no, it's one more up and to the right.
No, I love that Nick Fuentes walks the streets, you know? He's a real human being.
I'm glad you like that. One of us is liking that.
What, you don't like it?
No.
Oh, shit. My bad.
Bro, Nick looks terrified. This is literally the most terrified I've ever seen Nick. And it's funny how his disposition is so different when he's off camera. You know, when Nick is on camera doing his show, he seems like he'd just walk right up to you and say, fuck you. He seems completely like he's got it. When you see him around what I'll call regular people, totally different disposition.
Well, I mean, yeah.
No, you said that last time in New York.
Yeah.
You were going out and about.
But I was undercover in New York.
Yeah. Now we have a giant light in Western. Yeah.
Now we're very conspicuous.
I can take a quick picture.
Yeah, sure. Love the necklace.
Come on now.
No, I'm teasing you.
That's hilarious. Have a good one.
See ya.
All right, turn the light off, Susie. That's enough.
Hey, what's going on? Yeah, real quick.
Thank you, I appreciate it.
Yeah, you got it.
W girlfriend.
Bro, it's crazy how they're all going up to Nick and they completely ignore Sneeko. Nick Fuentes becoming one of the top streamers.
Thanks, man. I appreciate it. God bless. Thank you. Have a good one.
See ya.
Genuinely, how do you
They completely ignore the other two celebrity streamers there. How does this happen, by the way? How exactly does this occur? Guys, we're getting to the part where they get chased out of the restaurant in a second. We got to give the context.
Yeah.
What's the issue here? There's no issue here. There's no issue here.
It's the worst.
Low
I live in New York.
Well, I mean, like, when you're in Miami. I guess if you hoodie max, it's probably not that bad, right?
I mean, dude, we have three really flashy suits on with the big cameraman and the light.
Dude, we always get this. We just started wearing suits.
Yeah, if you're hoodie maxing. Where is it?
To the right.
Yeah.
Mister in the chat said, who would give a fuck about taking a picture with Sneeko? I thought Sneeko was pretty famous. Is Sneeko not famous?
This is Bad Bunny and Drake's spot.
Oh, really?
You're actually sadly.
Good.
You guys even went to the gym.
To take a picture.
I think we should get up a little quicker for stuff like that.
So they get into the restaurant, and then this is the moment where they get approached by a super suspicious guy wearing meta glasses, and they get incredibly sussed out.
Don't work out or anything.
Not at all?
No. I told him, like, I didn't bring any gym clothes. I'm good. I'm not benching today.
Well, the thing is, his gym is...
Snuggers are everywhere. Hey, I'm a really big fan. Can I buy all around the drinks? No? Sorry.
Sorry. Can you get him out of here, bro? Sorry. He has recording glasses on. I think we should get up a little quicker for stuff like this, because that guy was 100% just too... Nah.
Yeah, so Sneeko's telling his security, you got to get up when somebody does that, because they have a security guard at the table who's literally not doing anything about it. Imagine if that dude had a weapon when he got that close. Look how close he is to Sneeko. Like, this could have been a pretty bad moment, and security did nothing. If I was hiring that security, I'd be pissed.
Well, the thing is, his gym is...
Snuggers are everywhere. Hey, I'm a really big fan. Can I buy all around the drinks? No? Sorry.
Sorry. Can you get him out of here, bro? Sorry. He has recording glasses on. I think we should get up a little quicker for stuff like this, because that guy was 100% just too...
Yeah, that's an L from security, bro. That's instantly a fireable offense. You let a dude approach me like that when I'm paying you to come and secure me, you're getting fired. And just look at the difference between a streamer's security when you look at this guy versus iShowSpeed. Dude, look at iShowSpeed security. Somebody gets a little too close to him. They're like, back the fuck up. They're not playing. And iShowSpeed isn't even that controversial. These dudes need actual real security. People want to kill these guys.
Yeah, we gotta be...
He had recording glasses on?
Yeah. There was a big light on his glasses.
Dude, eagle eye.
Yeah, I mean, it's not that hard. It's like a giant flash.
I didn't even notice
Over here is probably better.
And I wouldn't have noticed that.
I hate the meta glasses people so much. I can't stand it.
That's crazy.
What the fuck? Man, y'all guys
Well, here's the guy's perspective with the meta glasses.
are everywhere. Hey, I'm a really big fan. Can I buy all around the drinks?
No, dude, if this guy had a weapon, let's say this dude had a gun, it's over. It's over for these three. And look, for the people who may think I'm exaggerating or Cassius, what are you talking about? Nobody's going to do it. Do I have to bring up Charlie Kirk? Look, I don't want to bring up Charlie Kirk, but I have to bring him up because look at Charlie Kirk. Look, when you compare Charlie Kirk and his political statements to a guy like Nick Fuentes, Charlie Kirk was like a daytime television host compared to Nick Fuentes. He was completely tame and non-controversial whatsoever compared to a guy like Nick or Sneeko. So think about the fact that Charlie Kirk was literally assassinated for what he said, for his beliefs. Now imagine the risk that these guys actually have when they go outside. These guys are 1,000 times more controversial than people who've actually been murdered in broad daylight.
All around the drinks? No? Sorry. Can I buy all around the? Can I send you all around the drinks or?
Sneeko does have a gun. I'm seeing in the chat. What if they have guns? He does.
No.
Look at that.
I saw that, yeah.
That was probably one of the dumbest things ever.
Thank you. Thanks a lot.
Oh, that was a nice dinner.
All right, let's go.
These guys can't even have dinner in a restaurant. It's insane.
Guys love it.
Be on the lookout.
Play safe. Not going to force it.
So then they abruptly end the stream. They had to call it a night. They ended the whole show.
Stream. Not going to force it. I didn't like the, just play it safe. Play it safe out here. Appreciate you guys for watching. Next, you got some big collabs coming up?
Yeah, Monday. Be on the lookout.
Okay. Tomorrow I'll be live again. Collab will definitely be live again. You need some sleep. You've been doing 12, 13 hours every single day. It's a good Sunday to take the night off. No clubbing. Get some sleep.
Guys, they left because they're terrified to go outside. See, here's what you guys have to understand. Streamers like Nick Fuentes and Sneeko, this is the first time. Well, Sneeko goes outside all the time, but a streamer like Fuentes, the last couple of weeks is the first time since he's actually become infamous that they're actually going outside. And what happens with these sorts of influencers, whether it's Fuentes or Alex Jones or Candace Owens, is that they basically put themselves in a bubble so that they can get away with saying what they say. These are people who say such inflammatory statements, they talk so much shit on the microphone and on camera that they literally can't go outside. They can't have a regular life. And if they do decide to go outside and try to enjoy the world, well, they're living in fear. They're living in constant fear. And this is the one thing that I've always wondered about when it comes to these influencers who've made their name off of just saying the most controversial shit. White guys saying the N-word or whatever. If that's the shtick you want to do when it's working, whatever, dude. You got freedom of speech. I'm not going to say anything about it. I honestly don't really care. I think you can do what you want to do. But sometimes I wonder, like, at what cost? Like, these are dudes who are in their early 20s. And they found a way to get clout by saying the N-word and saying they're Nazis. And I've coined the term red button influencers. That's what I call them. That's my term that I made up. Because basically they see a red button and they press it. You can't say the N-word? Okay, press that red button. Can't say you're a Nazi? Okay, press that red button. All they do is they just press the red button all day for all these issues. But at what cost? I can't imagine being so much in fear for my life because of the things that I've said that I can't even order an appetizer at a restaurant. And imagining living in fear like that, it actually seems kind of miserable. And I know they're making a ton of money. I know they're rich. I know they got clout. I understand that. But at what cost are you really going to go for that? It's kind of sad. What do you guys think? Like, I feel like, why is it such a big deal if a fan comes up to you, says Ape? Because they're terrified, dude. We have to remember, Charlie Kirk was shot in the neck in broad daylight. He doesn't do any of this stuff. Charlie Kirk was just a normal dude compared to these guys. That's the thing that sort of shocks me. When we have influencers like this, I can't even wrap my mind around the fact that people thought Charlie Kirk was that bad. When you actually look at his opinions, he really wasn't that extreme. He had some extreme opinions, but he wasn't as extreme as many people on the far right. And I would be willing to say that that's probably the main reason. Ever since Charlie Kirk, we've seen a difference. We've seen a difference in the way that these people move, especially in the political sphere. BJ says, what kind of life does one live where they're afraid to go outside? Cowards are what they're called. Well, BJ, it kind of does look cowardly. I'm not going to lie. Just look at like the way they're standing around here.
We'll see you guys. Appreciate you.
Ending the stream.
Tuning in. All right. Peace. God bless.
They're literally so scared they ended the stream. That's just sad, man. So I wonder, like, and look, here's the other thing too, by the way. Say what you want about Nick, but he's pretty intelligent. look, you may not, he says a lot of stupid shit, but he says a lot of smart shit too. And I think the thing about Nick is that he's intelligent enough to know it's coming. Now, I don't wish anything bad on anybody. But this dude keeps walking around like this. Sooner or later, he's going to get knocked the fuck out. It's inevitable. And I think he's smart enough to know it's inevitable. I think that's why he conducts himself in the way that he has. That's why he hides in a basement in Chicago every day doing a radio show and doesn't go outside. That's why. Because this is what will happen. And I think that he's sort of in tune with that. He's smart enough to know it's going to come. So I feel like it's time to go inside now. If you're really that scared, dude, if you're really, really that scared, either go inside or get better security. Or maybe call a restaurant in advance and get a private booth. It's not that hard. MTG says, I lost all respect for Andrew Tate when he converted to Muslim. I don't think Andrew Tate's Muslim, dude. He's a fake Muslim. All these celebrities are fake Muslims. They're so full of shit. You're Muslim, but you bang OnlyFans girls. like you drink alcohol. Well, Tate doesn't drink anymore, but it's like all these Muslims, like he's as Muslim as Sneeko. So yeah, this shit was crazy. Let's hop over to another clip. Let's see what we got. Hold on a second. Andrew Tate is not Muslim for sure. No. He's full of shit, dude. And I like some of the Tate stuff, but no. He's not. Abe says, seems like these guys are in love with the lifestyle that saying controversial shit gives them. End of the day, it's all about their morals. Yeah, I think it's kind of addictive, to be honest with you. I think it does become addictive at a certain point. And it's kind of like you need to keep pushing it further to get a bigger dopamine hit. It's like, what can I say today that's going to be more shocking? What can I say today that's going to be more controversial? You keep pushing and pushing and pushing, and I feel like you need to keep amping it up to be satisfied. Let's look at this clip. This is a clip of Myron doing a debate at a recent college campus. Let's take a listen.
Saying and insinuating the support for the gassing of
every time I play Myron, I get age restricted, so I'm ready for it at this point.
Wearing a "Let Him Cook" shirt and hat, referencing and insinuating the support for the gassing of 6 million Jews in the Holocaust, a number which you regularly and not too long ago just denied. My question to you is this. What is your response to the over 6,000 Jewish students on this campus across the political spectrum that feel incredibly unsafe that someone like yourself is on our college campus?
So, say that last, what's the actual question?
What is your response to the over 6,000 Jewish students at this campus across the political spectrum that feel incredibly unsafe that you're here?
Stop being a bitch. I'm not going to hurt nobody. I don't know what the hell. This is the United States.
Bro, this dude set himself up for that, man. How are you going to go up to Myron and try to ask a sincere question to a literal troll, dude? You're not going to get a serious, sincere answer on this, bro. You're telling a guy who calls people the N-word for a living that you feel unsafe.
Spectrum that feel incredibly unsafe that you're here.
Stop being a bitch. I'm not going to hurt nobody. I don't know what the hell. This is the United States of America, man. Freedom of speech is a thing here. It's not Tel Aviv. If you guys don't like it, go back to fucking Tel Aviv, man. That's the reality. We got the First Amendment. That's what makes this country so great. And then we got the Second Amendment to protect that. I obviously never condone violence. I never condone any type of hatred towards someone simply because of their religion, their skin color, whatever.
What did you just do?
What was that?
What did you just do?
Well, here's the thing.
He never promotes hatred. That's bullshit. Come on, Myron. Just stand on it, bro.
Any type of...
Just say, look, I don't like you. Just stand on it.
Hatred towards someone simply because of their religion, their skin color, whatever.
What did you just do?
What was that?
What did you just do?
Well, here's the thing. I talk about general realities, but in no way am I saying, oh, I hate Jewish people or anything like that. My thing is, because this is the Jewish tactic right here. Literally, it's if you're critical of certain narratives or if you're critical of Judaism or Zionism or the state of Israel or how they just got done doing a genocide, it's automatically you're anti-Semitic or you make me feel unsafe. It's all a Jewish ploy to try to victimize themselves, when in reality, you guys have been the ones victimizing a bunch of innocent Palestinians, and someone like me calling it out gets labeled as, oh, well, you promote hatred, blah, blah, blah. well, look, if I exercise my voice to talk about how you guys are killing innocent children, and that makes you feel unsafe, well, I don't know what to say, because the reality is that Israel's that's doing a lot of the aggression here.
Interesting perspective. I actually did an interview about this too with an anti-Zionist Jew, which is super. That's one of my archived interviews that actually never saw the light of day, because when I first did that interview, I had a 100% music base, so they weren't ready for that. I put that interview out and people did not react to it whatsoever because they were shocked. They were scared. Now I think my audience would be ready for that. The anti-Zionist Jew, that guy, I'm going to put that, maybe tomorrow on stream I'll play that. I'm seeing in the chat, what do you like about Andrew Tate? There's nothing he has to offer. You can't find better elsewhere. I disagree. I think his brand of motivation for especially young men, I think, is very potent. I think the way that he speaks cuts through. I think it cuts through the noise. It cuts through the phone. It cuts through the television screen. I'm not a huge fan of his comedy. I'm more of a fan of when he's actually being sincere and he's telling you, like, get rich, get fit, don't worry about women, focus on yourself. I think those are all very positive things. So, yeah, I think if we separate Andrew Tate's comedic rhetoric from his actual, his actual statements that he says, his motivational statements, is a very big difference. It's kind of like there's two Andrew Tates. There's Andrew Tate when he's bullshitting, and then there's the real guy who actually knows how to dedicate himself, trains every day, goes to get rich. That's the shit I like. And when I'm fucking up and I'm slipping, I hear that dude's voice. Listen, I don't even do it at this point because I'm always, look, it's 2 a.m. I'm streaming. I'm not a lazy person. But if I'm ever lazy, I literally hear that in my head. You're fucking poor, dude. You're broke. We got to play. Hold on a second. Let's get some 2 a.m. motivation, everybody. You're fucking poor.
You're broke! You're fucking poor! I think so many...
It's fucking funny, bro. Why are you worried about anything? You're fucking poor.
And there's only one of 3 reasons that anyone on this planet would ever be poor. You're either lazy, you are arrogant, or you are stupid. Now, we'll start with lazy. Most of you are lazy. In fact, I'd say basically all of you are lazy. You don't understand what work is. You don't understand what work ethic is. You don't understand the ethos of conquer Earth. You don't have fire blood. You don't wake up to go piss at 3:32 a.m. and go, I'm not going back to sleep because I want to make some fucking money. So you're all lazy. You're all arrogant. Because when I sit here as the richest person who's ever fucking wasted his time talking to your fucking dumb ass and tells you what to do, you don't fucking listen to me. Oh, well, Tate, maybe he's wrong about you're broke. How can I be wrong when you're in the poor category and I'm in the rich category? I obviously know something you fucking don't, you arrogant dickhead. And the third and least common category is
See, I respond better to this than somebody being like, hey, man, just do your best and wake up every day and try. Fuck that. Get the fuck up. Get to fucking work. That's what I respond to.
Most of you are not too stupid to become rich. I could show you how to do it. All you have to stop doing is being arrogant and lazy. So if you sit here and go, well, I'm none of those 3 things, yes, you fucking are, because you're not living the life I live. You are a brokey. If you were none of those 3 things, you'd be here with me in this room, wouldn't you? But you're not, because you are a fucking peon. So look at your bank balance, accept it's not as large as mine, and accept that one of those 3 attributes must apply to you. Find out which one it is and fucking change it.
Shit, dude. No, that's a prime Tate clip right there. I'm not going to lie. That's a prime clip. But see, that's like, when I hear that, I'm like, you know what? I actually might work till 8 this morning, not 7. I might work till 8. Does the money sleep? How should we sleep if the money doesn't sleep? See, now I'm trolling a little bit. So words hurt your feelings? Not at all, dude. Words don't hurt my feelings. ICE says the other part of Tate is him trafficking girls and scamming. Dude, it's been disproven. He never trafficked girls. That's a really, really old narrative, brother. And I encourage you to look into it. That's a really old narrative. but he's definitely a misogynist, but I don't care. Listen, if you want to be a misogynist, you have the right to be one. Has everybody forgotten that? Look, I may not like it necessarily, but people are like, he's a misogynist. He can be a misogynist. That's his right. Let's take a look. So everybody's putting up posts about Don Lemon. What happened with Don Lemon? I'm seeing Don Lemon needs to go to jail. What is the deal with this? I think he said something about ICE. Let's find the clip now. Why would they say he needs to go to jail? Whoa. The DOJ announces intentions to charge Don Lemon under the Ku Klux Klan Act. What? The KKK Act makes it illegal to threaten, hurt, or intimidate people to prevent them from exercising their God-given rights. What the fuck is happening right now? Hold on, I need to find the actual context for this. Let's go find the video. We need to find the video. What is going on? He's trying to stop people from going to church? By the way, guys, make sure to smash that like and subscribe. We're over here finding all the stories live and direct. It's 2 a.m. I'm grinding. So make sure to come show some love. What a week. Hit the subscribe, send those super chats, become a channel member, all that good stuff, man. Dude. Okay, let's just look at some clips.
Shameful to interrupt. What do you think of this?
So he crashed a church mass and lectured a pastor on the First Amendment.
I mean, this is unacceptable. It's shameful. It's shameful to interrupt a public gathering of Christians in worship. But there were folks who will say, I have to take care of my flock. Okay, but listen, we live in there's a constitution in the First Amendment to freedom of speech and freedom to assemble and protest. Yeah. We're here to worship. We're here to worship Jesus because that's the hope of these cities. That's the hope of the world is Jesus.
I'm in Malaysia right now.
Christ. I want to be very respectful. Please don't push me though. We're here to worship Jesus. Yes. That's why we're here. Yeah. Okay. That's why we're here. Okay. That's what we're about. Don't you think Jesus would be understanding we're about and love these folks? We're about spreading the love of Jesus. But did you try to talk to them as a Christian? No one is willing to talk. Okay. I have to take care of my church and my family, so I asked that you actually would also leave this building. You don't want us to chronicle what happened? Unless you're here to worship. I'm always worship. I'm a Christian. We're here to worship. Yeah. We're here to worship.
What is this guy doing? Who does this guy think he is? That he can crash a church in the middle of a service? I wouldn't do that even if I wasn't filming. What gives this guy the right?
Into Minneapolis a little bit ago and did some reconnaissance on the ground. I'm speaking to an organization there that's gearing up for resistance and protest. I've been pleasantly surprised to see the community coming together. Diverse community. If you see this, when we first pulled up, we're like, wait a minute, which operation are we at? And as it turns out, because we're like, well, this is kind of MAGA coded, right? Saw the American flag or whatever, but these are resistance protesters. They're planning an operation that we're going to follow them on. I can't tell you.
That's a good question in the chat. If a church is public or private. Hold on a second. Let me call my friendly customer service. Shortest answer possible. Are churches in Minnesota public or private property?
Private property.
Oh, damn, that really was a short answer. So can someone legally be asked to leave and then trespassed from a church in Minnesota?
Yes, absolutely. Since churches are private property, the property owners or managers can ask someone to leave, and if that person refuses, it can be considered trespassing under Minnesota law.
There you go.
Exactly what they're doing, but it's called Operation Pull Up, and it's Sakina Armstrong, and she has been doing this since George Floyd, Dante Wright, and others, where they surprise people, catch them off guard, and hold them to account. And so that's
okay. I want to try to find it one more time. Don Lemon church video, just to see if we can actually find it. Did he delete the video? Like, I don't know what's happening here. Sorry, guys. Bear with me. I want to make sure we're getting the information that we need here. Here we go.
Have come into our house, and they've interrupted our worship. This is a house of peace, and we try to proclaim that. And this stirs division and rancor. And in the end, it's not helpful. Ultimately, I believe they've lost. They've emptied a house of worship. Everybody's gone home. Their point has been proven worthless. And so, in the end, I think they lose. But more importantly, if I was to break into any of their houses uninvited, cause derision and upset according to their values, I would be kicked out ultimately. It's not a good way. I feel violated. I feel interrupted. I feel angry.
May I ask you something? When you were saying if you had showed up at their house, they're saying that people are showing up at houses where they're citizens or without due process and breaking and entering their house. One that we saw, I've been watching from New York, with a battering ram into someone's private property, and there's no recourse. There's no, you understand what I'm saying?
This is all part of a much larger dialogue, in my opinion. On one side are people who watched a previous administration bring 12 million people
I'm so confused right now. I'm so confused.
And over the course of 4 years, and many of them undocumented, many of them criminals, etc. This is another administration.
There are no warrants.
What the fuck? We're going to try one more time. Let's try one more time to figure it out.
Charges in this case. I see various crimes that have occurred. Exactly what they are, I'm not going to flag, but the FACE Act has been mentioned as one of the predicates there. In other cases, the Biden DOJ used the Klan Act conspiracy charges tacked on to the FACE Act in the case of protests outside abortion clinics to bring much longer sentences. So there are a number of tools available to us. Who funded this? What else? What other crimes may have occurred? Was there a use of the wires or the mails in preparing for this event? Did anyone cross state lines to do this? All of those are potential predicates for additional federal.
Well, I think I'm going to have to do a full stream on this tomorrow, guys. Yeah, I'm going to have to do a full stream on this tomorrow because we're going to have to figure out what's actually happening. So yeah, how about we do that? Because this is, I feel like, yeah, this is a big one. So let's do that. Let's hop back on tomorrow. Tomorrow on stream, we're going to break down the Don Lemon situation when Trump says they may be pursuing federal charges against Don Lemon for interrupting a church service. Celebrities have weighed in. Nicki Minaj has weighed in. So we're going to do a part 2 and break that down tomorrow. So guys, make sure to show some love. Hit that subscribe, send your super chats, and if you like the streams, make sure to click that join button down below to become a channel member. It shows some love. It's like $4 a month to just say, hey, I like what you do. The stream is completely run off donations. I pay for all of this out of pocket. So thank you to everybody who's been donating and showing love. And yeah, I look forward to seeing you guys tomorrow. Every single day we're live, breaking shit down. So shout out to SS, MTG, Ghana. We got Two Love, Token, Lois. I see all you guys. Adam, Ice. I see all you guys, man. I appreciate you guys for being in here with me. So yeah, let's put it together. Am I drunk? What the fuck are you talking about, dude? I'm drunk? Maybe I'm fucking exhausted. It's 3 a.m. All right, guys. We'll catch you tomorrow.